So, yeah, Joshy, I definitely had fun. I got to meet Diana, and that was totally awesome. We didn't really get a chance to hang out, unfortunately, which kind of made me sad, but it is what it is. I'll be back in San Francisco because the city was really cool, and it was a lot of fun. It was good. How are you? I'm doing good. I'm very tired, as always. I feel like I'm always tired. You guys are used to that. You're used to it. Oops. So, I'm just at home chilling, watching some Bob Ross. I hear this song all the time. I'm sorry, I hate to skip songs, but I've heard that one like a million times. You just want to move back to Seattle? Aw, your town is too small. Whereabouts are you at, Joshy? Seattle's a pretty awesome place, I will admit. I wish I could tell what Bob's next painting was going to be so I could prep my canvas, if you will. "4:55 a.m. Oh my gosh. Oh, you're in Oregon. Well, that's cool. That's pretty nearby. I'm really thirsty, so I'm gonna go and grab some water. I'll be right back. Okay, I've returned. Sorry. Talking on stream makes me thirsty. Alright. Bob is almost done with his painting. So I cannot believe that it is already December 7th. That means we are a quarter of the way through the last month of 2015. That is nuts. She was never seen again. Oh, never mind. Just kidding. I didn't disappear. Okay, I have this Santa Claus ornament, and he's holding a teddy bear. And tell me this isn't the most angry looking teddy bear you have ever seen. I don't know if you can see that. Look how angry he is. So grumpy. No, stop, it's still January. Oh, yeah. If only. If only. Alright. Well, we know Bob's gonna start out with his clouds, his sky. That teddy needs a cookie. I think I need a cookie. Just needs a cuddle. Apparently, he doesn't like Santa's cuddles. The thing. This is another one I've heard a lot. Twitch needs to get some new music. Just freshen it up a bit. Maybe they could, like, cycle through music. and like constantly have like an influx of new content just for a brief period of time. Alright, looks like Bobby is done with this painting. It's actually really pretty. Oh, we'll wait until the music is done. Hey, Ellie Electric Blue, how's it going? Still going with the music. There we go.
Welcome back. So very glad you could join us today.
Let me know if you guys can't hear anything or if anything's too loud. Still doing the microphone. Oh no! Portraits! Oh come on! This is not Bob. Free Bob. Shoot, guys. I'm sorry.
Glad to have you with us.
Look at them pigtails, though.
I'm going to sneak right off the set here. Let Fern have it, and I'll see you at the end of the show.
Let's begin by talking about what to paint a portrait on. It's usually a smooth surface, and I've chosen a masonite board. I prepared it with gesso, and I've worked up a sketch and transferred it on with
Alright, guys.
paper called graphite.
This isn't what we came here for,
and
but
I've buttered it up with my
let's do
medium, meaning I've painted the medium on it. And the medium is Damar varnish, linseed oil, and turpentine. I'm going to use an 1.5 inch sash brush. Let's go to the palette and I'll mix up the first color. The first color that I'm going to use is burnt sienna,
alright,
Indian yellow, and cadmium red light, because today we're going to paint a little baby Indian.
Ruined.
Okay, now with this great big brush, just paint all the way across the face.
Where's Couch Ghost?
And because the paints that I'm using are really very thin,
what is she doing?
On the board, the paint comes off in a very transparent manner, so that you can see the drawing right through. You never lose your drawing this way, and you get a lovely skin tone.
What?
Okay, this is a nice color to also use in the background. So
Shoot.
I'm going to handle the background with this, and I'm just going to let the brush dance to and fro over the board. See how the paint just glides
This
on?
is horrible.
This is really such an
What is
easy
this?
way to get a quick portrait
Oh, there's Couch Ghost.
without a lot of effort.
What are we doing? Oh, man.
Now this can be smoothed down, but at first it's going to look a little streaky, but that's alright. It gives it a little character to have some brushwork in there. And so we're going to get a nice impression.
Alright,
I'm going
lady,
to
if you say
vignette,
so.
and that means to just cameo the portrait, and the rest of the painting will be very vague and sort of soft and diffused in the background. That's good because the center of interest is really the little face. So we don't want to confuse anyone by putting too much in the background with a portrait.
This is already very confusing.
I picked up a little burnt umber.
Spruly Bob sounds like he has a bit of a cold. Yeah. Bob also has some pigtails. What's up with that? We don't know. We don't know what's going on today. Free Bob!
Okay, if you're getting streaks that go in one particular direction, the way to handle that, if you want it to be nice and smooth, is to brush against the grain, brush in the opposite direction. And that would smooth it out.
This looks terrible. What are we doing?
Okay, we've got a background going here. And it doesn't take long at all to really develop an interesting background. You can get all sorts of subtleties in your brushwork here just by changing the direction and brushing.
What do you guys think? Yeah, Free Bob,
fast,
exactly.
Strokes,
That's what I feel
in
too.
and out, crisscrossing them.
We'll give it a try though. I am pretty bad at
Main thing
portraits,
is
so
to keep it interesting.
this might help.
Don't let it become monotonous. You don't want a starburst around your face.
I feel like Bob's getting lazy. He keeps bringing on
Now,
these
this
other
color
people.
is very good for
He's
the
abandoning
costume
us.
color, which will be a buckskin. So I'm just cleaning out my brush on it, and you notice it seems to get lighter as you come in towards the face, and that will help set the face off. I want to keep this color really out of the hair as much as possible because there's Indian yellow in it. When I go to paint that hair black, Indian yellow and black, or Payne's gray, will make a green. So
I don't know about this.
it's a good idea to keep those colors separated in painting. Well, we're almost finished with the background. Now, wasn't that easy?
Well, yeah, you're just slapping colors on the canvas.
Of course, that entire
Randomly.
area can really be softened up with a nice little blending brush, which I call a bunny brush.
A bunny brush.
It's really soft, soft hair. It's almost like rabbit hair. And a lot of painters use this for blending all sorts of things, but particularly
Kind of looks
this
like
is really
Simba.
good for
Yeah.
faces. So we'll blend down all the brush strokes that might show up in my little face. And I'm going to get to work on the details of it.
Oops. Don't crop.
Now, the first additional color that I'm going to use on the face will be cadmium red light. And let's move to a palette and I'll show you how I load my brush. I'm dipping a short sable flat here, about a number 18, and I'm going to wipe it off.
I'll
on
probably
the
need
palette
a different
so I
brush.
have a rather dry brush. I don't
Let's
want
see.
globs of color on the brush here because they're going to be
Maybe
too
we'll
thick.
need this one.
Needs to be a little bit on the transparent side, so I'm going to stroke it in onto the painting
Stroke it.
about midway along the cheek, from the temple to the mouth. I'll load my brush again, and I'll do the other cheek.
Oops.
Okay,
Damn
now I'm
it.
painting the
Smudge
cheek.
brush.
I'll paint the lips because the lips will be approximately the same color.
Just putting red. Okay.
And since I have some red on my brush already, I may as well develop some of the headband. I always like to paint as many places that call for the same
headband?
color at one time as possible. I think that helps the painting to come up
What
like
is
a
this?
negative and develop pretty much at the same time. I'm looking for another area
I'm
that
so
I
sorry,
might
you guys.
paint red here. And
Free Bob.
perhaps a little
Yes.
beadwork down here to match his headband.
What? It would be helpful if we could know what we were
This is
painting.
going to be a little Indian boy.
Command ref. We need a
We'll call him
reference.
little One Feather.
One feather. Okay, so we're painting like a Native American portrait, maybe? Something like that?
Okay, the next color that I'm going to use will be white. I'm going to develop the highlights, and I'm just going to load my brush with a pure white. And I'm going to paint it right on to the surface of the face.
Like that. I feel like I'm just splotching things. Guess that is what we're doing, aren't we? We're just
You have to be careful about overloading
Splotching.
the brush, which is something that can happen. In this particular instance, I got a little more paint than I actually wanted, so I'm dipping my brush
AKA
into the
I
paint and
effed
using it
up.
like an inkwell to spread it elsewhere on the face. Right now, I'm just painting the highlights, approximately where they're going to go, and then I'm going to blend them. And I have a really interesting technique for blending. I think that you're really going to like that. To see how as I strike the lights, they pick up the color from underneath.
What is even going on right now, guys? I can't wait to see the end results of this. This looks so terrible at its current stage.
And as long as I have some white on the brush, I may as well highlight other areas. For instance, the lip.
I wonder what people in 85 were thinking when they sat down with some tea to watch Bob and this lady showed up. Yeah. Were they at home like, free Bob?
Alright, I'm going to let that set for a minute and then I'll show you my blending technique. But I think this is a good time to let the paint rest, and I'm going to show you how to paint eyes. Eyes are really very easy. And
Are
so
they?
are faces, if you know how to paint them.
Look
Paint
at
my
her
brush.
hair. Oh man.
And I'm going to prepare to do the eyes. And I'm going to use a little liner brush. A number 1 or a number 2 is a good size for details such as eyes.
Okay, so I have a feeling we're gonna want to zoom in here.
I'm going to mix up, I'm going to the palette now, and I'm going to mix up some burnt umber and
Oh.
some ivory black. Now I want to make sure that the brush is not overloaded, so I'm rolling the brush and I'm wiping it off on the palette before I begin to paint.
Okay.
Now if you've got your drawing on there just the way you want it, there shouldn't be any problem in painting the eyes. But you can make a few adjustments as you paint. And the technique
Oh, I didn't
of
draw
painting
any
the
faces, so
eye
we'll
is
wing it.
that you,
We're gonna wing it,
especially
guys.
when working with children, is want to paint the top eyelid first on both eyes. So I'm going to paint the top eyelid, and I'm using little quick short strokes rather than one even line. This way it'll resemble eyelashes.
This is insanity.
Little short strokes.
I'm
And
just
remember
kidding.
that eyes
It'll work
are
out.
really the important part of the painting to most people. Most people look into the eyes of a portrait and want to see a lot in there, so this is an important part of the painting, and you want to make it just as lovely as you possibly can. So take your time with the eyes. Okay, we've got the top eyelid painted.
Oh no,
That's
my computer.
the rim of the eyelid.
There we
now
go.
I want to paint the pupil.
So
I'm going to paint the pupil, and I've loaded up my brush with the same color that I used for the eyelid liner or the lashes. I'm going to paint the
Is it
entire
blue?
pupil in a solid
or is it just really
mix
shiny?
of ivory black and burnt
Starting to
umber.
brush up your portrait skills lately too? Yeah. I get ya.
Nice and easy. Can you see those eyes begin to appear?
Well, yeah, I guess so.
Now, baby's eyes are really
I don't think mine's a
little
baby.
wider and usually larger than adult eyes in compared to the rest of the face.
This is gonna be
Now,
hilarious
these eyes need to
when
need a
it's
little
finished.
sparkle, need to be livened up. So I'm going to add some sparkle. I'm going to dip my brush into some pure cadmium red light. Now, combined with the dark that I've painted in there, it should make those eyes sparkle beautifully and pick up some of the reflected light from the skin and clothing.
It's not the same without
And
Bob,
here's
I
a little bit
know.
of painter's grammar. You
So
use a
disappointing.
comma on the right and a period on the left, or a comma on the left and a period on the right, depending
It looks
on the
ridiculous. I
light
keep looking at
source.
mine and I'm like, this
And,
is so ugly.
usually the
And then I look at hers and I'm like, oh,
the
hers
period
isn't
that
any
is
better.
opposite the light source. So the light
Hello.
source here is coming from the right. So I'm going to paint the comma on the
What?
right.
It's coming from the light? What?
The
Taking
right.
my brush again,
On the right.
and a period on the left. And a comma on the right.
I have no idea what she's
This is
doing.
for the left eye. And a period on the left.
What? What are you doing, woman? She's just splotching more red
Now,
on
you
there.
need to make some adjustment in the pupil area after you've added your accents. So you can go back.
Maybe it's an abstract portrait. Maybe. I think she's gonna blend
readjust
it,
that,
but
make sure it's round.
it does look a little weird.
Squared it up. And of course, you know what comes next. That will be the white of the eye. So
The white of the
I'm
eye,
going to take
yeah.
up a clean brush here and paint the white of the eye.
I like to do a little twinkle
Just
in
loading
the
it
eye,
up with white
like
paint
that.
again. Only this time, it's going to be a lot thinner, so that I'm sure to pick up some of the undercolor.
Have you used much Paint Tool Sai? I have never tried that one, actually.
Okay, this
I've
is
heard a lot
little
about
curving
it.
stroke.
I know that a lot of
Here's a
people do
comma.
use it, so I've been intrigued, but I
comma.
haven't actually
A little
tried it
more paint
myself.
there.
I
See how it's
recently
picking up the
just
undercolor?
recently
That's
downloaded
most important because the
Krita?
white eye should really be
Krita?
very compatible
Or
to
Krita?
the skin tone. It should have some of the skin
which
tone
I've been
in it.
enjoying for drawing.
Need to roll
But
the
I have
brush a
never
little
tried
bit
Paint
and
Tool
just a
Sai.
touch too
I know
much
it's pretty
paint.
popular on like DeviantArt and stuff like that. But the blending brushes are sweet. That's interesting. I'll look into it. Because that's not the first recommendation I've had for that one.
Okay, now we're ready for the lower eyelid.
Okay. Alright,
Going
lower
back to the
eyelid.
palette, I'm picking up that little liner brush, and I'm mixing out the same color that I used before. That's burnt umber and ivory black.
Yeah, Krita's
Wiping my
interesting. It
brush
has
off
some
on the
really
palette.
cool manga style brushes, which are fun
Ready
to
paint
use.
the lower eyelid. It should be, in comparison to the upper eyelid, thinner and lighter. Remember, thinner and lighter. A little more touch to the upper eyelid there. And since I have my
But
brush
yeah, someone at
all
work
ready
recommended it to
go,
me. I like
I
it.
think I'll paint eyebrows.
I've got some experimenting to do with it still, but
Okay,
I
eyebrows
find
are
myself
done a lot
drawing
like
in Krita
eyelashes.
and then
Little
bringing it into
short strokes and
Photoshop to
lifting up
kind of
at the
paint
end of
it
each
a
stroke,
lot.
And it's a flick of the wrist. A flick of the wrist. And if they don't match, it really doesn't matter because most people do not have matching eyebrows anyway. So you're never going to paint exactly the same arch from the left as you get from the right. Don't worry about it. Okay, what do you suppose would be the last and most important detail
Manga style proportions,
in
yeah.
the eyes?
It's funny, I feel like a lot of
That's
people
right, it's the
start out
highlight.
with
So load up a
manga,
little brush,
anime, illustrations.
brush,
That's kind of like
soft
the
table with
gateway
white,
art.
and
and
a nice little
then
blob
you
of
sort
paint
of
on
start
the end.
exploring other stuff.
And don't
But for
even
me,
try to touch
I
the
started out
surface
that
of the
way and I
canvas
veered
or
away
board.
from it, and I'm
Just
kind of
touch
going back
paint
to
to
it. Like, it's
and
really, I mean, people do some
dot.
amazing things with it.
And if you pick up a little bit of the undercolor, clean the tip of the brush again and dip it again so it's nice fresh paint. And dot. Okay, it's time to start blending on some of the highlights on the face. And I have a soft little blender brush here that I like to use that's good for small places. And I
There we
have
go.
another bunny brush that's good for big places. So I'm going to try some of the larger areas first. And here's the technique. You pull the highlight out from the edge and blend it over the curve of the face, following the curve of the chin and down into the red that you painted for
Let's
the
see.
rouge of the face.
We're going to want a
See what
smudge
lovely
brush.
soft blend of color you get there. Little apple
You
cheeks.
started out with realism portraits.
Now I seem to have a little extra paint here.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm
Yeah,
going
that
to push
must be
back
that must
up
be a strange adjustment.
and clean my brush as I go.
Oh, maybe I'll stick with
Perfect
this.
example of what happens when you have a little too much white there. Of course, I did that deliberately so that you would know what to do in case of an emergency. And now I'm going to blend along the base of the lower eyelid using a smaller brush and out from the top of the highlight. Now the idea is that you want to try to keep as much of the painted highlight unblended in the center as possible so that it stays fresh and clean. Because you have wet paint under there, it's easy to muddy it up if you overblend it. So the idea is a light touch. Don't overblend it.
Don't overblend it. Okay. This music is a little abrasive. Let's try and pick something a little bit more relaxing.
Blending on my little chin.
I do like my chiptune music, so let's go with that. Okay. Sorry guys, I'm a little ADHD with the music today. So this weird blending technique that she has actually works fairly well with Photoshop. I don't know how I feel about it though.
Can you see that face coming out of the board there?
Not really.
I'm up so close I really can't see that, but I'm sure you can. I'm going to add a little touch more red here on the lips. Alright, it's time to begin to work on the shadows. We've spent a lot of time really on the lights. Let's work on the shadows. A burnt sienna, using the brush that I had loaded for the eyebrows and eyes, will work just fine.
Drawing people is hard. That's why I draw products and robots, Refractal Studios. Yeah. People are very challenging. It's weird. You would think that it would be easy because we look at people a lot. You know, they're part of our lives every day, all day, every day. But for some reason, they're just difficult. Difficult for most people.
The mouth here and make a little shadow at each end of the mouth opening to create a little bit of a smile or a little happy expression. We want a happy little Indian. This is a happy painting and a happy little Indian.
A happy little Indian, huh? This is almost offensive.
Upper eyelid.
Okay.
And it's important when painting very young faces and babies that you be sure not to overwork the darks and not give them too many shadows because it can age the baby. So I'm going to define the lower jaw now. And it's time to blend that in a little bit, and we'll put the hair on, and we'll soon have a little face here. In a little soft blender brush. This is called a mop sometimes when you use it just for blending, and it's a little round brush. Some fingers like to call it a mop.
Mine's not a baby at all. I did not know we were doing a baby. This is bad. This is not a baby at all. Sorry guys. Ella's a rebel. Ella does not paint baby. Ella's painting a humanoid figure.
And I'm going to mix up burnt umber and ivory black. And I'm using a great big aquarelle brush. Okay, from the center out and along the shape of the head. We want to follow the form of the head. Okay, giving some little hair.
I think I missed the part where we were painting the nose.
And a few little wispies.
This is insane. Okay. I also missed the headband part.
And while we're up here, let's paint a feather. In and down, along the chisel of the brush, and then down, and then down. Okay, I'm going to paint a little vein in the feather.
There we go. Alright, so let's see. What am I missing here? We need the hair.
That's a little Indian boy. He's coming right out here. And, of course, we have to finish up his headband and give him a necklace. And we'll just keep this very vignetted.
Mine's gonna be an Indian woman. Native American, I should say. She's like teaching me bad habits.
Okay, a little blue ornament.
Very offensive habits.
And a few blue beads.
It still looks really splotchy to me. That's just me though. Just squish it with the transform tool to get those baby proportions. Maybe I should. I don't know.
And
Who knows what Ella will paint next? Joshy.
a little white to show where the costume comes in.
That was rough.
A little
I like it.
stroke of white here will show the edge of the neck of a little buckskin. This is really a little baby, so he has a very short neck.
Oh my gosh.
A little ornamentation on his rosette there on the little amulet that hangs down.
I cheated. Sorry guys. Let's
And
see.
here we have a little Indian. Painted with ease, no effort, very little mixing, and a whole lot of fun.
Oh yeah?
I hope that you enjoyed that.
Fred, we'd like to thank you very, very much for being here with us today. On behalf of all of us here, we'd like to wish each and every one of you happy painting. God bless. Hope to see
Oh
you next
man.
week. Bye-bye now.
That's it? That was really disappointing. No, don't look at it. It's horrible. What is
Oh
this?
my gosh, what did she do?
Look.
Wow, she did not give you a whole lot to work with, did she?
Bob, come back.
Ooh, man.
Alright, I'm not even gonna finich that. I don't
Yeah,
even want to
that's-
save it.
That's,
Hey, welcome.
not the usual quality work you expect out of Bob Ross, is it?
Nah.
So let's start out.